And as part of this week of playing the old course in reverse, the St Andrews Link sponsored the Fried Egg team from America to deliver a lecture in town. And it was interviewing Scott McPherson. Who's Scott McPherson? Well, this is why I'm talking to the design students and also the history students. So he wrote this book. Now, Scott McPherson is an architect. We know him quite well. He's talked to us before. And he's a very good architect. He designed Close House, for example, down in Newcastle, which hosts the British Masters, amongst others. He's a very successful architect, but he's also a very good author. He's a very good talker, a very good speaker. And it was about this book that they were talking about, the evolution of the old course, the impact of time, tradition and technology. A fascinating social history of golf. So if you liked history, you might like to consider this. But from a design point of view, fascinating reading about how the old course has always been a leader. I mean, it inspired the Masters, for example. And it inspired many other golf courses, with Tom Morris being a designer, Donald Ross being a designer, Alister MacKenzie being a designer, taking the principles of the old course around the world. So what were they doing? It's all in here. And I think what we're discovering with Scott and the Fried Egg team is a very interesting conversation. Are we, with all this new technology and all these new distances and everything else, are we having as much fun as we should be? Because in the history of golf, before the graphite shafts, it's quite clear, we think, that the people playing golf were having a lot more fun. Right? And I think we've got to ask, why is that? And I think it's because the score didn't really matter. And in the latter half of the 20th century, and I've said this before and I don't mind saying it again, in the latter half of the 20th century, the professional game invaded our spaces. So therefore, technology, equipment, scoring, playing really well became, the paramount reason or the paramount experience. And I think that might be a mistake. And I'm not just saying it because my handicap's going up every year. I'm saying it because I think if we look at history, people were having a lot more fun just being out in nature, being lifted up with the company of their people, and just not worrying too much and not having too much of an expectation. So when we're watching the TV in our clubhouses, we're starting to demand that those conditions are brought to us. Right? And we're going to have another episode about how much that costs to deliver a tournament course. But, can we think about the experience of golf? And can we think about whether we may be losing our way a little bit? And I'm going to suggest that we don't allow the professional game, which is an extraordinary, ironically entertaining spectacle at the weekend at the Masters, absolutely extraordinary, but it's a different game to the one that's being played on the vast majority of golf courses by the vast majority of people. And again, a reflection of that comes from Scott's book and the experience of playing the old course. So again, if you are ever coming to St Andrews, try to get a copy of this before you come, because you'll appreciate how special this whole place is. So much more. Thanks for listening. And one last thing I've got to say, can I? Please, surveys. Can you please complete the student surveys? Okay. Adaptability. Okay. The old course has been very successful because it's adapted. We as an organisation need to adapt. Our success has been based on our feedback from alumni and students and industry. Please give us feedback through the surveys so we can go forward successfully. We rely on you for that. So please, surveys completed end of this week. Thank you so much. Ciao for now.